All right. We are live.
Okay.
Dr. Truly, are you back? Colleagues, good afternoon. I can see we have 22 people already in. Welcome, and we appreciate your time. We just waiting for others to come in. We're starting in 2 minutes. For now, we just want to check if you can hear us, and then there's the Q&A option. You can write there. If you can't hear us, you can indicate. And then if you can as well, just indicate on the Q&A. I'm typing as well a message to say, can you hear us? You can respond there. And then in 2 minutes, we are starting in 1 minute actually. Prof, according to the program, you are starting.
Okay.
I'm still dealing with people who are struggling to get in.
Okay. How many people do we have now?
We have 31.
Oh, we have 31. Okay. All right. Should I say wait for a minute or so before I start?
Pardon?
Should I wait a minute or so before we start?
No, you can start. You can.
Okay.
I think they will get us on the way.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon, colleagues, and thank you so much for signing up and joining us as we are trying to go through with you different ways and show you different platforms that you can use for online teaching and learning. This is equally important, and that's why we have invited everybody who had gone through the initial courses of digital literacies and teaching online. So the idea here is just to showcase different online platforms. And the first one that we started with was Edmodo, and we also invited a guest from Holland from Germany to come and speak with us. Now today, we are going to look at WhatsApp. And many of us are familiar with WhatsApp, but very few of you know that you can use WhatsApp beyond sending your good morning notes and messages and emojis. There are so many, there's much more to do with WhatsApp. And the beauty about WhatsApp is that it is accessible and it's something that we know. So colleagues, colleagues and I decided that it's important just to whet your appetite about the different things that you can do as you are going to an online space. And just be adventurous. Check out things that you would like to do and practice them and do them, and refer back to us if you still find it problematic to go through. So today we are going to look at WhatsApp, how to use WhatsApp as a teaching platform, not as what we use it for, but as a teaching platforms, WhatsApp classrooms. And this is one of the many platforms that you can use to teach online and for a specific reason. The person who's going to be discussing this, our guest speaker, is one of our coordinators within the course, is one of the lecturers at the university. She's a senior lecturer at English Studies, and she has done work, most of her research on WhatsApp. When she was doing her research in her PhD, she looked at how you can use WhatsApp to support language learning. And she used WhatsApp to support language learning, and her results revealed that when you ask students to use something different from what they are familiar with, it improved their vocabulary. It improved the way they are learning. So today, she is going to show you how you can integrate this technology to teach online. Part of the reason is that we want you to begin to explore different technologies that you can use in your own classroom, different technologies that you may find helpful to teach in your classroom. So I'm not going to speak too long. Dr. Thuli Shandupetla is one of us, has been one of us for a long time. Some of you had interacted with during when you were taking the course, and even now you're still interacting with it. And she specializes in mobile learning, and that's her research interest is on mobile learning and language teaching, because she's also a teacher of English. And she's been teaching at UNISA for a very long time, more than 20 years. And she's a mother of 3 children. And I think she was introduced to WhatsApp by being by teaching from home, teaching her kids from home, while she was also using it in her own classroom at the university. So she's trying it out, and she tried it out as a parent as well as a lecturer at the university. So please listen carefully and give her a chance to explain to you how you can use WhatsApp as an online teaching tool. Over to you, Dr. Shandupetla.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Professor Makwe. The honor of being introduced by a professor and your supervisor. Thank you for that amazing introduction. And it's true, I have been using WhatsApp for teaching and learning for my undergraduate students at first year, for my postgraduate students at masters and doctorates, and for my 7-year-old who is doing grade 2. So this presentation draws from all those other spheres. Before we get too far, I just need to pass greetings to all the colleagues and all the guests and everyone who is joining us today. I am told that we have international guests in the house. I heard something about Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria is in the house, and we have our guests also from other universities around South Africa. I heard UCT was in the house, and other universities are also here, and our colleagues at UNISA are also here. So it's lovely to have this wonderful mixed bag of minds getting together to chat about, reflect on, and also just discuss matters related to digital teaching and learning. And I want to welcome especially our participants, our teachers. Some of you have been in the course for more than a month. Others, we started with you with leader and everything, and others are still new. So welcome one and all. We're really, really excited to have you today. So my presentation, like I said, is based on my doctoral study. It's based on practical experience from using WhatsApp and from observation and from participating on the other end as a parent homeschooling using WhatsApp from the teachers. Please, Sheila, please let me know if you can see my screen. I want to project it. Please confirm if you can see it in projector mode.
We can see.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. So we are looking at using WhatsApp for online teaching. And unfortunately, because this is a virtual environment, I am not able to ask you to raise your hands and then I can see all the hands in the house. But I have faith, I believe that if I ask you to raise your hands, you will raise them. I need you to raise your hand if you remember a time when a phone, not a cell phone, when a phone was an instrument for exchanging voices and exchanging calls between friends, between enemies, between frenemies, between church people. Remember that time when we said phone? That thing that used to be hooked on the wall, that thing that used to be tethered with a long cord. Others would be able to carry the phone to the bathroom, and then the cord will make other people trip and they would fall. Those were the days of phones. And then cell phones arrived. Cell phones came in with a bang, and they were as huge as a brick. You could kill a person using those things. They were massive. You couldn't even put them in your bag. You had to put it like right there in your car. But those cell phones mimicked, in other words, they looked a lot like the tethered phones that we had in the homes. And all we could do with those phones was we could call other people, and it was very exciting. In isiZulu, we used to call them umakhalekhikhini, because you could carry your phone all around. But then something happened. Somebody introduced SMSs. I remember my first SMS. It was from my fiance back then. I was so excited. We started getting SMSs, and then Apple happened. Apple said, no, we can include music in our phones. And then other people got ideas. We started sharing media. We started sharing images. We started sharing music clips and video clips and all sorts of things. Then Mixit came and mixed things up. We started to have groups of people within a cell phone to talk and discuss issues. Mixit did its own exit, and then WhatsApp came. WhatsApp started to introduce to us things like group calls, things like group discussions, things like exchanging media again. So as we can see, technology keeps evolving and technology keeps changing, and it keeps enhancing how we do business. And as teachers, we need to tap into that. We need to tap into those capabilities. So let's see how we can tap into the capabilities of WhatsApp so that we go beyond using WhatsApp for sharing information. Sometimes we share fake news because we don't even know that it's fake news. So let's see how we can use WhatsApp now for our benefit as teachers, especially in the time of COVID-19, where we are forced to rethink, to reimagine, to be creative about how we teach. So these are some of the reasons that that we have for using WhatsApp. And again, these are from research, these are from practical experience, and they're also from observations. The first and foremost reason that we use WhatsApp is familiarity. Now, you will agree that we've been forced into a space of unfamiliarity. All of us, as parents, as teachers, as managers, as people, as just life in general, we are all in this space of unfamiliarity. We are on shaky ground. We're not even sure what to do and how to do it. So there's that reassurance, there's that sense of peace, of working in a place with which we are familiar. Right? Imagine, remember the day when you got your first job and you had to open your first bank account because, well, our generation, well, we didn't have bank accounts before we started working. Remember your new bank account? Remember the first time you used the ATM? Remember how panicking and nervous you were? But the more you use your bank account, the more you use the ATM, you became familiar and you became confident. And some of you even begin to do other things in the ATM rather than drawing money. Some of you even now begin to use the ATM for depositing money, for making transfers. That is the beauty of familiarity. It helps you to be more creative and it helps you to be comfortable. So parents are familiar with WhatsApp, children are familiar, sorry, I used children, I wanted to say learners. Learners are familiar with WhatsApp, and postgraduate students and undergraduate students are familiar with WhatsApp. Secondly, its accessibility. When in isiZulu we say umakhalekhikhini, like a cell phone is literally the thing that cries in your pocket. It cries in your pocket because you walk around with it. Even when you go jogging, you have your cell phone. Even when you're cooking, I know people who even spill a bit of cooking oil on their cell phones because it's accessible, it's close by. Usability. Usability is important whenever we speak about technology. Whatever technology it is, we want usability. We want a thing that you can click and it does things. You can click and it sings. You can click and it sends messages. So it's usable. What we call the user interface, the thing that makes it usable, is the thing that makes it attractive. If it is not usable, then you will see people throwing it out there. You will see people neglecting it. But the attractiveness of the whole thing is usability. And then cost effectiveness. WhatsApp is cost effective because, one, it's quicker to charge than a laptop, and you can even charge it in the car. I've seen people asking a taxi driver to say, please, can I quickly charge my phone? Whether it's an Uber driver or the M&R taxis in Umlazi. So it's cost effective also because data with using WhatsApp is not as expensive as other technologies out there. We will talk about later how to make it even more cost effective. Versatility. Versatility means that you are able to adapt it to suit your context. In other words, when you have a lot of money to throw around, you have received your IPMS bonus, or it's around your birthday, you have a lot of money, you can send large videos, right? You can send long videos. You can even send YouTube links. You know, towards the end of the month, when your data is very low, then you start sending voice notes because they are not as heavy on data. Also, when you are in rural areas, you know maybe that your learners do not have that much data. Then you can adapt and change what you send according to the context. But then when you have learners who have Wi-Fi at school maybe, or who use the municipality data, then you are free to send large videos and so on. So you want to change and adapt according to the context, and that is the beauty of WhatsApp. Inclusivity, this is very important because sometimes when we plan, when we develop materials, we develop them according to our own perceptions, according to our own experiences, without thinking that if I send all these images, what about a learner with sight impairment? If I send all these audio clips and all these voice notes, what about a learner with hearing impairment? If I send all these multicolored images, what about a learner who has albinism, whose sight cannot grasp all these different colors that other people are able to? Now, WhatsApp is very, very helpful with inclusivity when you can send an image followed by a voice note, followed by even maybe other graphics to make sure that your teaching is inclusive. And then WhatsApp is theoretically sound in that we are able to back it up with theory, with theoretical frameworks, with academic theories, so that you do not teach just because you were taught to teach this way. You do not teach just because you see people teaching this way, but your teaching is theoretically sound. It's theoretically balanced. If someone asks you why you are doing this, you can say because of this theory and that theory. It's also pedagogically cogent. In other words, it is aligned with pedagogical theories of teaching. Now I'm remembering my first year at university when they were teaching me didactics, and I always thought it was a very sexy word, didactics. So now WhatsApp has that pedagogic soundness. It's pedagogically cogent. Let us look at some of the theories. I promise I will run through these very, very quickly. Compelling theories that are aligned to using WhatsApp include the interaction theory. The interaction theory says whenever you teach, whenever you plan, whenever you develop materials, whenever you develop activities, you need to cater for student-teacher interaction, student-student interaction, student content interaction, and student device interaction. Why is this important? Because we are no longer in a face-to-face classroom, because in your classroom it was very easy. Student-teacher interaction was very easy. You would stand in front of everyone, and then you start talking, and they respond, and you talk, they respond. And student, you see student A, Unokzola, interacting with Siyabonga, and then Siyabonga is naughty, Olani is not naughty, Marima B is responding. There was that interaction. And then student content is when your learners now interact with what is being taught. Your learners responding to what is taught, and also the content being accessible to the learner. So how do you do these things in an online content when you cannot even see your students? Because we are no longer in that environment in the classroom where when you see that they are not interacting, you throw your duster at them and they get scared and they start interacting. So WhatsApp helps us to do that. As you interact with your learners, and in WhatsApp groups, you can see your learners interacting with each other, and you send them content, you can see them, the answers that they give, you can see them interacting. And then student device interaction, it means it goes back to usability. How do your students use your device to access content, to access other students? Another compelling theory for WhatsApp is what we call the community of inquiry. I swear this is my favorite theory, because it helps me to shape my teaching. It helps me to shape my presentations. It helps me to shape even my materials development. The community of inquiry asserts that whenever you teach, whenever you engage with your learners, there has to be what we call social presence. Now, social presence is not just about people having after tears or having a 21st birthday party or an emotional outlet for students to say, oh, I'm sad, oh, I'm excited, ooh, next week Monday is a holiday, woohoo, we are taking a day off. Social presence means engaging, socializing towards learning. Now, WhatsApp gives us that. You see people exchanging messages, discussing what they are discussing through the social presence. And then the community of inquiry also insists that in our engagements, we have to see cognitive development. How do we measure cognitive development? Well, we need to see evidence of a learner who moves from a sense of puzzlement or confusion to a sense of enlightenment or application of knowledge that has been taught. Now, how does that happen? You can give your learners exercises, and then you will see them saying, oh, guys, I don't understand this. Yo, guys, what does this word mean? And then they will start helping each other. In my doctoral study, I allowed my students to even use their home languages to say, guys, what would you say illicit is in isiZulu? And then someone would say, ubugebengu, and one would say, no, it's not really ubugebengu, it's this. So that interaction, it moves a learner from confusion to understanding and then application of knowledge. Then you hear a learner now starting to use a new word, starting to use a new concept within WhatsApp. Teaching presence. WhatsApp allows for teaching presence, which includes explicit teaching of ideas. You can send a voice note teaching, you can send a diagram teaching, but it also means facilitating the learning. So as you facilitate the discussions, because WhatsApp doesn't mean that you put learners together in a group and then say, okay, go ahead, discuss, but you facilitate the discussions, you prompt their discussions, you encourage when they are not discussing, and then you correct, you nudge towards the right way. Okay, and this one, the last theory relates to inclusivity. This is where we talk about universal design for learning. We are saying when you design for learning, when you design for teaching, remember that not all learners are the same. And universal design for learning has three main principles. We have representation, which means you need to present your materials in more than one format. Can I get an amen there for WhatsApp? Because WhatsApp gives you the audio format, voice notes. It gives you the image format. It gives you video formats, it gives you various formats so that you will cater and make your materials representative of the differences in your groups. Now that's the exciting thing, because sometimes in the classroom you are pressed for time, then you end up presenting in one format. But WhatsApp now opens up all these exciting opportunities for you to present your material in various formats. Another principle is that of action and expression. In other words, you are saying to your learners, there's more than one way of interacting with material and show that you understand. And this is a true story. I'll pause here and share this true story with you. There's a professor here in our midst. We are in another group with other colleagues. So we were discussing whatever idea, and I don't remember what it was. So this professor responded using an emoji. And I also responded using an emoji. And someone in the WhatsApp group was livid. She says, "We are not playing here. This is serious. Don't answer in emojis." But we were expressing our ideas in varied ways. It's WhatsApp. It allows for variation. So what we love about WhatsApp is it allows that variation of expression. It allows your students to respond by sending a voice note, to respond by typing, sending text, to respond by sending an image, to respond by creating a short video clip. Just the other day, my daughter my 9-year-old now had to show the teacher, it was something about creativity and alphabets. So we created something with alphabets, and we did a video. And then it turns out, because all the children were sharing on WhatsApp, other children decided to draw their images and color them in. Other children decided to act, right? One child just acted his A's and acted his B's and acted, so this is the expression, and you are able to grade that as a teacher. And also the last one is engagement. You want multiple ways of motivating your students. So you can motivate them by sending them stars as emojis. You can motivate them by recording a voice note and say, "Boys and girls, I am so proud of you. You did so well," those kinds of things. You can create your own certificates and post them on WhatsApp. These are various multiple ways of motivating your students. Okay, so these are WhatsApp basics, and I shared them with you the other day when we had our presentations. One, you can have your groups, 256 people in a group, and I know you have you know, this will be enough to cater for your classrooms. So if you have 5 classes, you can have 5 WhatsApp groups, and then you can have maybe 20, depending on your class, 30, 50, or whatever number of learners you have in your class. And for those who teach at universities, you might have more than 200 people in your class. You can have one group with all of your students, or you can have smaller groups within your classes. You can have group calls with some of your learners who are struggling, and you see that so-and-so is struggling, Uthuli is struggling with long division. Let me call Uthuli and her mom, and we can discuss this. Then you can talk to them, you can even show them in a group call. And then you also have WhatsApp Web, which I'll show you now. And then it is compatible. WhatsApp is compatible with iPhones, using the iOS platform, with Android. With Android phones, we have so many Android phones. If you go to the mall, you have Android phones which range from 300 Rand, a smartphone complete with Android, and you can get it and you can start using WhatsApp. Other phones even come preloaded with WhatsApp. And then you have your Windows phone as well, your Mac, your MacBooks, and your PCs. All right, now let's talk about setting up WhatsApp Web. I love WhatsApp Web. And for those of you who have your phones with you, please just whip them out. And if you have a laptop close by, you can take it out and we can start practicing. The reasons I like to set up WhatsApp Web is that, you know, my eyes, I'm visually challenged. I've been wearing glasses since I was 9 years old. So you can imagine that my eyes are not that great. So if I have to create materials and send to many groups, my eyes get a bit tired. So I like to use WhatsApp Web because I can work on my computer, I can work on my laptop, I can work on my tablet to create information and share on WhatsApp. So this is how we create, this is how we link our WhatsApps to WhatsApp Web. You open your WhatsApp chat on your phone. On Android, you click on chats, click on more options, then you click on WhatsApp Web. Click, click, click. Remember that usability? Click, click, click. On iPhone, on your iPhone, whether it's iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or iPhone X, it's still the same. You open your WhatsApp, you go to settings, you go to WhatsApp Web or WhatsApp Desktop. Then you click on that. Once you've clicked on that, you will see a scanner on your phone. And then once you see that, you go to that link, web.whatsapp.com. You click on it, and then it will open a QR code. It doesn't matter what QR stands for. Just know that it's a QR code. The QR code on your computer, it's like a barcode. It's like a code that you will scan. Take your phone and put it in alignment with the QR code on your computer, and then this is how your phone will scan immediately the QR code, and immediately your WhatsApp will be on your WhatsApp will be on your computer. You can send messages, you can copy and paste images, and you can send documents, right? If you are prompted, you can tap select, but you don't really have to. Sometimes other phones will do this immediately, and others you have to select or tap done. Okay, now I just copied and pasted these images because Android phones in particular are not the same. Remember when I said you go to Android chats, more options, and WhatsApp Web? So in other phones, this is where you will get your more options. You will get 3 dots, vertical dots going down. So you click on those dots and then you follow the prompts like I just showed you. And then in other phones, you can see in the first one, the Xperia, your 3 dots, it's not even 3 dots, it's 4 dots at the bottom right corner. With other phones, you will have more options on the bottom left corner. And then with other ones, it's not even 3 dots, but this is the sign that you will see. You click on that, and that is how you will get your WhatsApp. These are other examples of where you will click for your settings. But make sure that you open your WhatsApp first. Open your WhatsApp as if you're about to send a love note to your loved one or a bit of juicy gossip to a friend. And then once you've opened your WhatsApp, you click on those so that you will access your WhatsApp web. Okay, now, once you are ready to teach on WhatsApp, you can do all those fun and amazing things. You can teach explicitly. You can teach explicitly using texts, using audio, using video, depending on context. Remember what we said about versatility? Now, if you have a lot of data and you know that your learners will be able to download heavy data material, then you can go for videos. If you know that your learners might not be able to access heavy data material, then you can start by text, just texting them. Then the text is much cheaper on data. All right. Then you can also share resources. I'll show you just now. URL links, PDF documents, Word documents, PowerPoint documents. You can do that. And it's easier if you work on WhatsApp web. You can share your computer screen. You can share your phone screen. Let's say you found something fascinating, maybe a mind map about something. You can grab that screen and then you can share it on WhatsApp. You can also use emojis and stickers. I know sometimes you are tired, you've been teaching the whole day and you don't have the words to say, congratulations everyone, we are done. So a dancing emoji is enough to send the message across. Okay, so these are some of the useful apps that I use for WhatsApp. Peak Voice, I love Peak Voice because I get an image of whatever I want to share and then I add a voice note. It could be a voice note that I record for that picture or a pre-recorded voice note, which is really, really nice. Say, for example, you wanted to talk to your learners about long division. Sorry, it's just we've been learning long division here in the house and I'm not a maths person, so I'll keep making that example. So you have a picture of all the steps, right? What was it? Mommy, daddy, sister, brother, and repeat. Okay, so you have that picture of the mnemonic and then you speak to it. You add a voice to that picture and then you send a picture on WhatsApp. I also like Poster Maker because then it helps me to create motivational messages for my students and it's very, very quick. So if you go to your app store, if you use an iPhone, or if you go to your Android app where you get your apps, okay? Just type in Peak Voice or just type in Poster Maker and then you can get those posters. Well, we don't do stars anymore as teachers. You can have posters with jumping jacks or balloons or butterflies. You can create your own poster for your learners. I also like Recorded. It is the best app for recording your phone screen. With those who have Android, such as the Huawei. I don't know how you pronounce it. Other people say it's a Huawei. Others say it's a Huawei. Others say it's a Huawei. I call it a Huawei. With a Huawei, you press the volume down. Yes, it's the volume down and the power button, and you can record your screen in video. So as you click, as you tap, as you do these things, you are recording it, and you can send that recording to your learners. For iPhone users, play around with it, you'll figure it out. So for iPhone users, you can use Record It. Record It, you can click, and then it will record your screen. I think this was developed by gamers who want to record as they game, as they play games, so then they can, you know, brag, send it to other people, send it on YouTube. But you can use it. The app is called Record It. I also love File Compressor. You know, if you're like me, you like singing and preaching and teaching. So you get carried away when you record your teaching, and then you find that, oh, my file is too big. Because for WhatsApp, I think your maximum is 20 megabytes. Then you realize, oh, my file is too big, it won't go. Then you use File Compressor. You can compress your file so that the data is smaller, right? And then you can share it on WhatsApp. It also helps for your learners as well, so that when they download it, it's not data heavy. It's not expensive for them. So go to your app store and type in File Compressor, and then you will get those. Then my ultimate favorite, because I'm an English teacher, is a website called mindmap.com. It helps you to create mind maps of different sorts. Okay, so you can record your screen as you create a mind map, send it to your learners so that they know how to create their own mind maps. Or you can create the mind map and then save the image and send it to your learners. This is an example of a mind map that I created when I was teaching about dealing with change for widows. I have a project on widowhood. So I was trying to teach people about how we deal with change. You know, you are still a daughter, you are a woman, you are a student, you are a career woman, you are a sister, you are a church member, you are a community member, you are a businesswoman. All these things. Do you see how nicely it looks in a mind map? Now, when you want to train your learners how to use a mind map, you can create this for them and then send it as an image, or you can record your screen and show your learners how to create it. Okay, now let's quickly do your sharing your phone screen. If you have your phone with you, please whip your phone out. Let's see if you can record your phone screen. For your phone screen, your grab function, if you are using a Huawei, then you use 3 fingers to slide down. Those of you with Huawei's, try it. 3 fingers, slide down. Then it takes the screenshot. Or you can use volume up, power button. You press them together, and it takes an image of your screen. Say you wanted to show your learners the difference between a tadpole and a frog, and a fully grown frog. So you can search for it, search for the image on Google Images, and then you can share that image. You take a screenshot, and then for other phones, you can long press on screen. I don't know what phone you have, but if you long press on your screen, this is how you can get an image. Then you can click edit, you can crop the image, you can add color to your image, you can add pointers and arrows, and although you can point at the tail of a tadpole and then point at the frog so that your learners can see the differences, okay? And then you can click share, the same way that you share your pictures when you've had a very beautiful meal that you prepared, and you take a picture and you share it with your family. That's the same way that you share your images on WhatsApp. Okay, click share, then click select WhatsApp. Now, when you want to share your computer screen, some of you are comfortable with working on your computers. The best way to share an image on your computer is to use the snipping tool. I really love the snipping tool. Like literally, it snips your image on a computer. To activate the snipping tool, you search the easiest way. Search for snipping tool and then pin your snipping tool to start. Just click pin to start. Okay. Now your snipping tool will be readily available every time you find something and you want to take that image, then you click on the snipping tool and then you snip, you take an image and then you can share it on WhatsApp. Where I'm going to show you now how to share on WhatsApp, especially using WhatsApp web because it's the easiest. Okay. Now recording PowerPoint. Some of you, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I recorded my PowerPoint presentation, including a very small box with my head on it. I'm sure you noticed that my head needs a salon desperately, right? So you can record your PowerPoint, right? Instead of just sending a PowerPoint presentation, you can speak to your PowerPoint. So you have your face right at the end there with the box, and then you can talk to your PowerPoint as you move your slides. You talk to your PowerPoint. You can set this up on your computer. Okay. First you need to turn on PowerPoint recording by opening your PowerPoint. Once you have it open, you click on File, top left corner, click on File, click on Options, and then once the Options dialog is open, click Customize Ribbon tab. Once you've customized it, then you select the recording checkbox. It might sound difficult now because I'm talking about it, but it's very, very easy, okay? You can have a look at this slide and then click, 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 recording checkbox, and then click OK. So what happens is this is the picture of what I was telling you about now. Can you see on the left, customize ribbon, and then you go to the right, and then you see your A there, customize ribbon, and then can you see that recording is not checked, it's not clicked. But what you want to do is you have to click that recording, you check that box. Once it is checked, then you click OK. Now this is what your PowerPoint will look like. Your PowerPoint, can you see right on the left there, you have the record slideshow tab. Now this does not come with your PowerPoint as a default. You need to activate it. So you can see right there on top, you have a recording tab, and on the left, you can see I circled it, record slideshow. As you can see, I took an image. I took an image of my computer screen. That's the one that I'm sharing with you. So here it is. You can now begin to record your slideshows for your learners. And the example that I sent, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, that's exactly what you can send to your learners, where you speak to your slides. If they are younger and you are teaching them to read, you can read with them as you show them the lines where they have to read. If they are older, you can talk to them as you label a diagram. This is an ear, and this is what you have to see in an ear. You can label, you can have a PowerPoint presentation on the digestive system, which, by the way, was my favorite in high school. You can say, so this is how food goes through the process of mastication and peristalsis. Food goes down and gastric juices. As you show the PowerPoint, you speak to it, right? So You click on recording. This is now after you've set up the recording. Click on recording, record slideshow. You can record one slide or you can record from beginning. You will decide. Once you are done recording, it's very important that you do not just click save, but you click export to video, create video, and then save. Once you've saved, then you can share on WhatsApp. Now, the fun part, sharing files from the computer and sharing using WhatsApp. Remember, we've already set up our WhatsApp web, so we are okay now. Open WhatsApp web on your computer, select the individual group. If it's group 2A, you click on 2A. If it's group 12C, you click on 12C, and then you click on share. Now, the share icon for other computers, they will be share. With others, you will just see a money clip. I don't know if some of you remember the whole discussion we had about money clips in one of our seminars. So it could be a money clip. You click on the money clip or you click on share, you select a file. Now your file can be a PowerPoint, it can be a Word document, it could be a picture. And then you click on share. That is why it is important for us to set up WhatsApp web beforehand. The example that I used there, I pretended like I was sharing something with group 6. Can you see? That is group 6. And then can you see my money clip there on top? I tried to underline it in different colors, and then it gives you a list of things. The first one is a picture. So if you've taken an image and you saved it as a picture, then your picture of your tadpole and the frog, that's where you will find it. You will have to browse your computer then to find it. And or you can take a picture of yourself. The next one is your camera. It will switch on your camera and then you can take a picture of yourself. The next one is a document. A document could be Word, PDF, PowerPoint, and then the last one is your contact. If there's something at someone's contact you wanted to share, you can use that one. Be very, very careful then that when you save your files, create a folder on your computer. You can call it digital teaching, you can call it WhatsApp materials, so that it's easier for you to find the materials that you want to share. Okay, as I end this presentation, just please make sure that as you set up your WhatsApp, make sure that you set housekeeping rules for your WhatsApp groups. Okay, the first one, you need to explain what the platform is for, right? What the platform is and what the platform is for. This is WhatsApp. Chat to them. You can send them a voice note. If there are anything like some of the students have seen, other people really have a certain aversion to reading. So if you send something as text, make sure that you send a voice note to accompany it. This is our WhatsApp group. This is what we will be using it for, and this is why it is important that we have it. If you have if you send a text, and this is what I do with my church groups as well, because I know other people don't like reading. Imagine someone sending you the whole of John 3, the whole chapter. People will just look at that and just avoid it, okay? So use your emojis when you send text. Okay, so when you have a verse or something that says, there was a storm in the sea, you have a lot of emojis for that. They say there was a storm in the sea and put an emoji next to it. It will draw people's attention to that line. If you're teaching Macbeth, and then the 3 witches are now talking, and then there's fire, cauldron, whatever. Put a fire there, just so that it will draw people's attention to that. Okay, so explain the platform, set time boundaries if you feel you have to. I know of teachers and lecturers who are okay with not setting time boundaries, but set your time boundaries, it's important. make sure that you talk to them about content that can be shared. If you don't want those things with an aeroplane saying, I'm flying about to wish you a good morning, and tell them, say, we won't be sharing those in this group. This group is only for learning. But if you're free for them to be sharing butterflies and things, just say, make sure that it's clean. We don't want to see nakedness. We don't want to be very specific so that people cannot say we didn't know. We don't want to see swear words. We don't want to see religious intolerance. Make sure that you say that. And what I need to say is this is not your typical classroom. So loosen up a little, teacher. I know you've been teaching for a year or 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, but this is not your typical classroom. Loosen up a little. Play around with your WhatsApp and let your learners play around with it as well. Be attentive. When you notice that my learners are not interacting as they usually do, check on it. One learner doesn't usually contribute. Check on it. Be attentive. And finally, this is technology. So be flexible, because technology is all about flexibility. Thank you so much, colleagues. That brings us to the end of this presentation. And now I shall stop sharing. Back to you, Dr. Sheila.
Thank you so much. You were just right on time. And thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Prof. Magwe, for introducing this wonderful speaker. It's a very good presenter, Dr. Thuli. Everybody was enjoying. I can see people said they are enjoying themselves. Right now, we do have questions because we are left with about 6 minutes. I want us to go directly to questions. The first question, I've been taking others aside so that from Dr. Hlajwayo, she asked that, is there a specific WhatsApp learning or teaching etiquette during the learning? I think it goes again with how do you monitor the abuse of WhatsApp among learners, especially primary and high school learners, referring to the cyberbullying as well. I think towards the end of the presentation, you alluded to this, but you can still go ahead and respond while I'm still publishing other questions. Dr. Hlajwayo, can you help me with the reading of the questions as well so that we don't waste time?
Okay, while you read the questions, I will respond to that. It is important that as teachers, we do not see technology as a replacement for the teacher. I remember that some years ago when technology-enhanced learning was introduced, people were so scared and saying, these bots, iRobot or eRobot, all this technology will be replacing us. No, that is why we need to be vigilant. Technology is not replacing us. So when we say student-student interaction on WhatsApp, we are not saying as a teacher, you leave them there and then you go and do your own things, you submit your UNISA assignments. No. You need to be attentive. That is why it's important that at the end, I had to say that we need to be attentive. You need to look at what learners are doing, are saying, and how they are saying it. So you know your learners, and you will learn. The more we work online, you will learn to pick up on those cues. Those sometimes they are very subtle. Right, so you will learn to pick up on those cues. We have general etiquette for online interaction. I can share those with you. Just your general etiquette. What do we call it? Tolerance, patience with other people, and giving other people time to interact. And this is where you come in. This is where teaching presence comes in, because you facilitate interaction and you are attentive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thuli. There's another question from Tando. He's saying, good afternoon. Is it possible to have 2 WhatsApp icons, one for my learners and the other for my family or friends? I'm not sure whether when Tando is saying WhatsApp icons, do you mean the groups? But maybe you can clarify again by writing on the chat. Dr. Thuli, maybe you can figure out what Tando is trying to ask.
Could it be maybe that maybe I think that the best way is to have groups within one WhatsApp. I'll tell you what I tried the other day. I thought, okay, I have a work phone and I have a home phone, and my home phone is full of family groups, church groups, old friends groups, and I wanted to have my work phone just solely for work. But then I have one cell number. So I thought, okay, I'll log into the work phone using my number, and then I'll log into my family phone using my number. It does not work. As soon as you log into another phone using your number, you need to cancel the other phone because it's the same number. So the best thing that you can do is maybe get a second SIM card. If you have two phones, get a second SIM card so that you know that this phone is just for work and this phone is just for playing, okay? Then that would help. Otherwise, you'll have to do with having a lot of groups and making sure that they don't mix. And if you have younger children or younger grandchildren or younger, very naughty children from the neighbors, if you have one phone, then you risk them sending, you know, those risque pictures of yours that you hide from everyone. So they will share them with everyone, or they will record voice notes. So the best thing to do would be to get a second SIM card if you have two phones. If you have one phone, just make sure that you label first, you label your groups well, and just make sure that you are careful when you send a message, you don't send it in the wrong group, because now you will start gossiping about the principal and you think you're gossiping to your friends and you are gossiping to the principal himself or herself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thuli. I think you've answered questions that others also had in mind, even if they were unable to write their questions. Most of the Q&A posts here are about complimenting and congratulating you and saying thank you so much for the very informative session. We appreciate, and we also appreciate your attendance. Colleagues, we had 128 attendees in this workshop. We appreciate your support, and we are saying to you, we're still going to give you the best. Today you had from the best, and you're still going to get the best from our team. Our team, we are led by Professor Mpine Magwe, who is the chair of our Commonwealth of Learning for Open and Educational Resources. I'm going to give her a minute to just say goodbye to you. We've got Dr. Vivian Klajwayo. We've got Dr. Ngubani, who is among the attendees. I think I can say we were 127 because she is the 128th one. She didn't log in our site. So we have Dr. Nsamba as well in absentia. And then we've got Lillian Kumalo is our admin. So we are a very great team that work together, and we have a different expertise that we're going to share with you. We have Limpopo and KwaZulu-Natal and Northwest Group. We watch your WhatsApps and your emails. We're going to have a meeting with you. But for the training, the next training will be after next week. So we decided to do the trainings bi-weekly, not weekly. And the next training will be about Triple B. Triple B is Big Blue Button. So we're going to learn about it. If you don't know about it, Google it so long. And then we are going to learn about how we can use Triple B to teach our learners. Prof. Magwe, just a minute. We're already over with 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sheila. Thank you very much, Sheila, for facilitating these workshops. And a big thank you to Thuli. We were all captivated by what she was doing, And I hope all of us, like me, were using our, when she kept on saying, go and do the peak voice, do the recorded. We were trying those out. And I would urge you, as you move away from this space, please try out everything that she was telling you. And it may not work the first time, it may not even work the second time, but please, please, please do not give up. Because with technology, it's about trying out new things. It's about being innovative. And I promise you, when you go back to your classroom or when you start engaging with your students using these tools that are available, you will wonder how you coped over the years without using them. Thank you so much, colleagues. The team that is working tirelessly on this, I call it the team of laborers of love, because they do this out of love completely, nothing else. So these laborers of love are sharing their love with us. They're sharing tools, they're sharing their knowledge, and in the world where people are so selfish, and in the world where people are holding on to their own things, this group is doing things selflessly. So thank you so much, colleagues. And thank you also for the participants. Each one of you, each one of the 128 participants who participated in this, thank you very much. We will be sending you this presentation, and it's recorded, and then you can listen and you can practice as you go along. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you in the Big Blue Button presentation by Dr. Sheila Mphahlele, who's going to be leading that. Thanks again, colleagues, and wishing you all the best. Stay safe.
Thank you, Prof. There's one question that is saying, how do I get 200 student numbers on my WhatsApp, from Professor Corinne Mayer?
Okay, so what you can do, the easiest thing to do is you create a group, you copy the link to the group, and then you send the link. Maybe you can use your school board, you can use your list of students, or you can use your email. Just send an email to all the students and say, if you want to join the group, click on this email, and then click on this link, sorry, and then the link will automatically join your groups.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Another way is to create a database, maybe on Excel sheet. So when they are on Excel, you can just copy when you did that WhatsApp web. You can group them easily on your WhatsApp web. Colleagues, yes, we are over with 5 minutes. I think you're not complaining, because I can see 90 people are still joined in. It shows this was very much awesome to all of you. Unfortunately, I couldn't even publish all of your Q&As, but I'll make sure that we get them in a recording. I also accommodate those who are having hearing problems, because I will give you a written recording of this workshop. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Should I end, colleagues? We can debrief on WhatsApp.
Please.
Yes, please.
Or you want to debrief? Let's debrief.
We can debrief out of this meeting. Maybe just 2 minutes on Teams quickly.
Okay. Not good. We'll do that.
Thank you.